Hello, folks. Happy Thursday. The goal for this week is to understand how the periodic table is organized. At first sight, the periodic table can look very big and overwhelming and confusing. But at a closer glance, when we break it down into smaller pieces, it's much more easy to understand. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at these little individual boxes in this periodic table and understanding what the symbols and the numbers in the boxes mean. We're going to start with hydrogen because hydrogen is the first element. So the first two things that I want to show you guys is the symbol and the name hydrogen. See, scientists are kind of like mathematicians in a way. We're lazy. We don't want to have to write out hydrogen every single time the word hydrogen appears. And so what we do is we simplify hydrogen to H. And if you don't quite remember which is which, there's this nice handy dandy little cheat sheet right here on the periodic table. You can see the word symbol is right next to the H, and the word name is right next to hydrogen. And so you can use that little handy dandy cheat tool to determine, okay, which one is the symbol again? Oh yeah, it's the big letter. What we're going to do is we're going to practice a couple of problems where I'm going to give you either the symbol or the name, and we're going to see if you can tell me the opposite. All right. So, what element has the symbol C? Cool. It's carbon. What element has the symbol O? Good. It's oxygen. What element has the symbol CO? Yeah, it's a little tricky. It's cobalt. So one thing that you'll notice about the symbol for cobalt is that cobalt's a capital C followed by a lowercase o. See that? And that can be a little bit tricky. A single C is carbon, a single capital O is oxygen, but a capital C followed by a lowercase o is cobalt. Okay. Let's try a couple of problems in reverse. What is the symbol for sulfur? Cool. Yeah. Sulfur is just an S. What is the symbol for silicon? Good. Silicon is an Si. Nice. And that's basically all there is to it, is just figuring out where it is on the periodic table. For the most part in our class, if you're not sure where to start looking, start at the top of the periodic table and work your way down through the periodic table. That way you won't be looking at multiple things twice. It's much easier than like trying to hunt and peck for an element. It's just starting at the top and working your way down. I'm going to give you a little bit of a challenging one, okay? Can you find tungsten? Yeah, tungsten is a little bit trickier to find. Tungsten symbol is a W. In fact, there are actually a couple of different elements in the periodic table where the symbol and the name don't quite line up. For example, sodium is an Na. Um, there's a funny like little joke where like Batman is going na 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 sodium because Na is sodium. Good. All right. So now that we've had a little bit of practice with symbols and names, let's learn about what these numbers mean. So we've got two numbers in all of these boxes. There's two numbers that's really important for every single element in the periodic table, and they all have them. The first number is called the atomic number, and the second number is called the atomic weight or the atomic mass. The atomic weight / atomic mass will always be bigger than the atomic number. And if you don't ever quite remember which is which, once again, you've got this handy dandy little cheat sheet right here. Here we go, where the atomic number is right next to the word atomic. And the atomic weight or atomic mass is right next to the word weight. Cool. So, what is a pattern that we can see about our atomic numbers? As we are going down the periodic table, what happens to the atomic number? Does it get bigger or smaller? As we go from hydrogen to lithium to sodium, does the atomic number get bigger or smaller? Good, it gets bigger. And what about as we go across the periodic table? As we're going from left to right, does the atomic number get bigger or smaller? Yeah, it increases by 1. Each time we go from one box to the next, the atomic number is increasing by 1. And that's actually a really handy dandy thing about our periodic table, is that as we go across the periodic table, it always goes up by 1. And then we go down 1 and all the way back over to the other side, it goes up by 1 again. And it just keeps on going up by 1 all the way through the periodic table. It's like we're reading a book, right? You start at the top, you work your way over, and when you get to the end of the line, then you go to the next line. So the periodic table, all the atomic numbers are organized so that it reads like a book. And the atomic masses also increase as well. The atomic masses increase as we go across the table, and as we go down from one element to the next, as we go from element 10 to element 11, the atomic mass or atomic weight also increases. There you go. So, can you guys tell me here? Well, let's pick an element real quick. What is the atomic weight of phosphorus? Good. The atomic weight is 30. Whoops, there we go. Now I can't go from phosphorus to the big, but it's 30.974. Okay. What is the atomic number of magnesium? What is the atomic number of magnesium? Here it is. It's 12, right? Because the atomic number is the one on top. One that it's a little tricky and it can get confusing. Magnesium is Mg and manganese is Mn. You don't need to memorize this periodic table. There's no reason to. You will always have access to this. If you want to have a printed out copy with you during every single test and assignment, I think that's a really solid plan. I'll also include a link to the periodic table in every single assignment we do that involves one, which, by the way, is pretty much every single assignment till the end of the year. The periodic table is an incredibly useful tool. It's worth its weight in gold. So taking a little bit of time now to understand how it works is really going to benefit you in the long run. I still use a periodic table anytime I do problems with chemistry. It's really useful to have. It's kind of like a calculator. All right, that's it for today. Until next time, bye.